the pilgrimage. If you can hear this, you are still alive.
Welcome back to the front lines. This is the Pilgrimage, where we talk about everything Trench Crusade. I'm your host Gunnar, and I'm joined by my co-host Chance. How you doing, Chance?
I'm splendid. In the way a half-sunken sandbag is splendid, functionally present, spiritually leaking, and absolutely integral to the aesthetic of decay. And yourself, old friend, still holding line, or has the mud claimed you too?
Mud hasn't claimed me.
All right, then.
In fact, the plastic has claimed me.
Oh, yes, it has.
Just a few things. Make sure to join the Discord, listen to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and follow us on Blue Sky Social. We got another quick episode for you guys. Because we've been a little bit late. We're going to have a back-to-back episode for you this month. Give you lots to listen to while it starts to get cold or doesn't get cold where you're from, wherever.
Whatever.
Or you're just on your long commutes. You can listen, have a good amount of listening this month. So, in recent news, which kind of messed up our plans for what we were going to record, but the 1.0 rules are officially released and on the Trench Crusade website.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. They downloaded over 10,000 times within 30 minutes of them being released. So that's fantastic. I mean, really shows the following that they have and how passionate people are about this.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see that there's still quite a bit of some strong following with the game, and especially with their other recent news that has been put them in a bit of a tizzy.
And what news is that?
Their new plastic, totally going to plastic announcement.
Like completely.
Completely. No more STLs, no more resin. So what do you think about that?
For me, I think it's great. I think that's what they need to do for a little bit more of consistency from what I've heard. Not sure if it's true or not, but there's definitely been some inconsistencies in the quality of the resin deliveries. Haven't seen ours yet.
Yeah, not that we would know.
Haven't seen ours yet, so I don't know. Yeah, what ours are going to look like, but we'll definitely be going over them with a fine-toothed comb. But I think going to plastic is a good move for consistency, and probably a good move for the business too.
Definitely, there was a lot of negativity saying that this game is going to go nowhere because they're not going to plastic.
Yeah.
And that the only way you're going to get to a mainstream market is if you put this in plastic so that people don't have to mess around with resin or resin printing. And then you can get it into local game stores.
Definitely, yep. And,
but
how's that going now?
What if I'm, I went all in on this a year ago, and I bought all the STLs.
Yeah.
And I bought a $500 resin printer. I can see why people would be angry.
I mean, if a person's going in deep into printing, they could figure out and model them themselves, and
there will definitely be, as soon as they release anything in plastic, there will be an STL file for that plastic bottle.
Exactly, of similar design.
Yeah So if you have an STL, if you have a resin printer, I would not I feel for you, I empathize with you, but just know that you're not going to be left behind, because one, they're keeping their licensing agreements I don't know what that looks like. They said they're going to change it a little bit, but they just Great Hunger just released. That was just recent partnership.
Mm-hmm.
They're releasing in resin and in STL still. So there is going to be ways for you to still get models. And if you're looking on My Mini Factory or Cult 3D, there are a crazy amount of alternate sculpts of STL Trench Crusade that you can play with, and it's all legal. You still could field a totally off-brand warband, and you'd be good to go. No one can turn you down.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about plastic.
Definitely.
I like working with plastic a lot more.
Yep.
But it does. I don't know. It would have been nice to buy everything in plastic right off the hop.
From the hop. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all right.
So I'll just buy it again. You know how that goes.
It's not going to stop me from not buying a resin printer.
Fair, yeah.
Because I went in on with the Great Hunger and the Catacombs little train Kickstarter that was there, and that's all STL. Like I bought it all at STL, so I'm going to invest in a resin printer so I can print a whole bunch of terrain and everything that I need for my games. So I think that if they think that this is the way to get way more people into the game, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I believe that like a blended way is going to be the best way. Having some STLs for certain things. Your core units are all going to be in plastic, but then having the odd special thing that you sell the STL for, terrain STLs for, sure. Why not? But yeah, keep your core stuff as plastic. Make the ease of access for new players just nice and easy. Get in with plastic, and then hey, if they want to, they can find a buddy who has a resin printer, or they go into resin printing themselves, and then they can get the STLs for these other models and stuff too.
Like the original ones, you mean?
Sure, yeah. The originals or any new heroics or anything like that. I think a blended way would be a smart way.
Well, they're not releasing STLs anymore.
I know, but I think that would be a smart way to do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, their official stance as of now is that they're not going to do STLs. Because
of course. Well, they're always just
as soon as they release them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as they release them on My Mini Factory, someone buys them, and then it's on Etsy.
Yeah, exactly.
30 minutes later.
Yeah.
So they
cents on the dollar.
They think it's not feasible.
Yeah.
And I can, as someone that's trying to make a profit, like that's a terrible way to run your business is to let somebody else sell it for cheaper.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they don't have the legal team that, a certain 2-lettered company would. No. To be able to swat those kind of things down.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the way they're going with it. So you're either are on board, or I guess you move on to something else.
Back to 40K.
Yay! I would hate to see you leave, because
no,
I would love to see a whole bunch of people in this game.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have way more STLs to print, more STLs than you could think. Then, even though they're not gonna come out with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like by third party, fourth party, whatever.
Well, and I think that's a big perk too about this game, is that they're not gonna hold you down based on what models you have, as long as they look the part of what the lore is for your army or your warband, and they have the weapons and stuff that they need. They don't care if it's third party or not.
Yeah, we'll actually talk a little bit about that in our upcoming segment, which is we're just going to look at the new rules.
Yeah.
Kind of just a general take on it. Plus, I kind of did a quick browse and what was different from the last playtest rules to what's the change here, to kind of give everybody just a quick, dirty, okay, what's changed, what's the same, and then you'll have a good idea without having to go through every little data point on the rules yourself. So even just like right from the get-go, the layout on the new document here, this is like going to be the living document now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is slick. I love it. They have the little column on the left with basically all the chapters or headings right on the side there. They're hyperlinks. So, I want keywords. Boom. There's a keywords little hyperlink on the side of the page that you could be on. Takes you right to keywords. And then there's hyperlinks, the little red arrows within the paragraphs. That'll take you right to certain rules that they're talking about in the paragraphs. That'll take you right to it. And I love it. I think they did a really good job on the just like the user interface or just usability of this document. It's great.
Definitely. They did a really good job with that. Like you said, there's the little red arrows that take you right to, subcategories of those rules, and I really like that. And yeah, like you said, that column on the left side there is just so beautiful. Every page is going to be a little bit different about what's involved on it because it has some of those subcategories put into it as well, each page. It's real good. Very well put together.
What I like is that this is the first, they had the playtest stuff, but like this is their first official document for this game.
Yeah.
And it's already better than the 40K stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it's digital
I can't
to
wait.
begin with.
Yeah. I cannot wait for their full book.
Yeah.
With all the, art and lore extra. It
Yeah.
should be great.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think that got pushed back to December from what I saw.
Yeah.
Which that's not bad. I did order a book of that too, so I'll be getting that.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, we'll just get right into it here.
Yeah.
The first step in here, they talk about a little bit of the nitty-gritty of what you need to play. Then a little bit of the timeline / lore, and then right into like a simplified rule set here to get you going. And they call that the core rules. I'll just tell you a little bit. It's a lot of it's going to be the same and familiar, but there's a few little variations that are different.
Just talking about that timeline there. I don't know. Did you see that in the timeline they put some like art where things were scratched out and stuff?
Yeah, I like the little touches like that.
Yeah.
Makes it, keeps the
lore alive.
The immersion. I was trying to find the word. You start. So when you start the game, you have your 2 warbands, but they're the game is broken down into 3 phases, or kind of 4, but really 3. But there's an initiative phase, activation phase, morale phase, and then the end, which goes back into an initiative phase. But the one change with the initiative here is that when you're counting models for the purposes of initiative, you do not count down models now.
Gotcha.
So it's whoever has the least amount of models for that count will get initiative. And then whoever has initiative can choose order that things are performed at the start or end of turn. So like if 2 players have a skirmish model that needs to be placed after things are done, the person with initiative gets to choose, well, I want you to place your skirmisher first,
right,
and then I'll place mine, kind of thing.
Makes sense.
Whatever rules that might happen before or after a phase, or after, a turn, a whole turn. But yeah, they didn't have that before where you just count all your models on the board. The down ones don't count now.
So if you've got somebody that's downed but not out, they still don't count for the initiative at all. Nice. Okay.
Yep. They changed the move action, so the move action comprised move, charge, and retreat.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit clunky, so now it's just that whole action is called move or charge or retreat.
Right.
Simple.
Yep.
Added climbing and difficult terrain rules into the description of move, which is great, and you can no longer charge models out of line of sight.
That's huge.
So that's pretty huge. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I feel like is kind of accurate, for the immersion of it.
Yep. Oh, for
You
sure.
have a guy sneaking around the back of a building, and all of a sudden, Kool-Aid Man comes to the wall. Well, not really, but yeah, but I think it's good.
Yep.
You no longer charge multiple enemies either. You just declare one target, move, and then must stop once in base contact with that target. But you can carry on if you stay in base contact and then with the target, and then finish within 1 inch of any other enemy models.
Within
so I think
1 inch.
Yeah. So I think what the purposes of this is that they don't want people rolling like a 12-inch charge against a singular model and then doing a huge wraparound all the way around to get you do these movement shenanigans.
Yeah.
They want you to, if it's just one model,
mm-hmm.
you just, as soon as you get right into base contact, you stop, you're done, charge is good.
Yeah.
But if you see you can get into melee range
of another,
with another model, then you can continue your
stay
charge
in base contact with the first and just kind of zip around to the back and yeah.
So you can charge multiple enemies, but you only declare on one target.
Right.
Now.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. There's some differences on the range attack modifiers. So the shooting from an elevated position now is 3 inches above the target instead of 2.
Good.
Yeah, sure. I think people standing on a rock and being like, "Oh, I had an advantage because I have the high ground." Anakin.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah,
a little silly.
Yep.
They also got rid of this. There's on that shooting from elevated position. There was also a differing size of model modifier. So if it was a 50 millimeter model, you'd be 4 inches above.
Ugh.
So they just split the difference.
Yeah.
So now it's just a flat 3 against everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better, slicker.
Yep.
Cover is now a keyword and just means terrain granting cover has to be a half-inch high now. And then every other, just the same as the old cover rules, you have to be in base contact with the terrain piece, has to be covering the base of your model.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Offhand attack is now multiple melee weapons. You choose which attack you use second, and then that attack is -1 dice for the attack. So before, you would choose which of your weapons is offhand, and then that's just your offhand one.
Right.
Now you can it gives you a little bit more flexibility. If you want to use a weapon that has a better chance to hit, and you don't need to go through armor necessarily, you might choose that one as your main hand. Whereas, okay, now I need my armor penetrating weapon, so I'll use that first, and I don't get the -1 dice to attack. This gives you a little bit of tactical flexibility with decisions. They added fear to the modifiers just so it's easy reference that it's the same -1 dice to attack for against models that have fear. The defend obstacle is if the model is in cover, -1 dice to the melee attack. They just cleaned up the rule a little bit.
Oh yeah, yep.
Diving charge is a little bit different. So you still need to declare a diving charge, like you change your charge into a diving charge,
Okay.
you need to land within 1 inch of enemy models now instead of the 2 inches.
Oh,
And then
okay.
it
Yeah.
only provides a +1 dice to hit, no plus dice to injure. And then it doesn't ignore the defended obstacle modifier.
Hmm.
So
I'm-
it's a bit of a nerf.
I'm guessing that one was kind of being abused.
Yeah, it seemed hard for me to pull off, but I don't know, maybe. And they used to have like a max height that you could do it from, but now you could literally diving charge 12 inches down and hopefully not die. Speaking of falling, they moved it from 2 inches or more to 3 inches or more. So that's good.
I mean, it just ties in with the elevated position now, 3 inches instead of 2 inches as well. So I mean, they're basically just raising the I don't know what you want to call it, the hypothetical ceiling of height.
Yeah, and because your increments to taking more damage from like falling height is in threes.
Oh yeah.
You may as well have the starting one at 3 inches anyway. Like, but yeah. Bloodbath roll. So before, when we were confused about it, it's now, I think, pretty clear with how they describe it here. You add plus minus injury dice or injury modifiers as normal. Pick the 3 highest dice or pick the 3 lowest dice.
Simple.
It's the same as your success roll or injury roll now.
Yep.
Or I guess it always has been. It's just more clear now.
Yeah.
So if you have, if you make a bloodbath roll, and then you have a plus dice because you have a weapon that adds plus dice to injury, you're now 4d6. Take the 3 highest.
Yep.
And then if you have a bloodbath roll and you throw a blessing on it to give it a -1 dice, now you're taking the 3 lowest.
Yep.
So another reason why I love those miracle dice. And there's a new keyword. I haven't looked at all the models that might have it, but it's exciting. I like it. So you lose your model's activation if it becomes down during its turn instead of taking a risky success roll to just continue on.
Okay.
So
That's
if you
pretty
fall and you become downed, you're just instantly done
for that turn.
Whereas before, you'd get to have a roll to see if you can keep going.
Yeah. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. +1 injury dice against down models now only works for melee attacks. So before, you could take your anti-material rifle, shoot all the way across at some down poor schmuck, and pummel them into the dirt. Now you have to get right up to them if they're down. And down models can't be moved for any reason now. So no more kicking that trench pilgrim off the top of the bell tower that's on his knees. No more Mufasing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Movement characteristic is halved after standing up, including the bonus for charging. So it's the same thing as before, that once you get up, before it said your movement is all your movement is divided by 2 or something like that. Now it says your movement characteristic for the model is halved. I don't know if there's some rules that play into that a little bit.
It could just be cleaning it up, and instead of saying like divide by 2 or anything like that, they're probably just cleaning it up. Yeah. Just make it halved.
Yeah. And then because it's the characteristic, they had to include that now that the extra d6 you do for charging is now called the charging bonus. That's kind of the keyword they're using for it. and that is also reduced by half
So it's
because that
included
is
in that.
not dependent on your movement characteristic. But they also want that halved if you get
Right.
it from down. So
Yeah, because that's probably what was happening was people were going movement divided by 2 and then add the add any bonuses or anything like that if there was any. Now it's just all chopped in half.
Your shaken as part of your morale test is just a regular part now. It's not an optional rule. 2 failed morale tests in a row cause your warband to flee and you lose the game.
Yep.
Before, in the rules, it kind of made it seem that once you had failed 2 at any time, you had to flee. And I think I read this right, that you have to do 2 in a row to flee and lose the game. But they've also added that you can choose to flee and lose the game at any time you fail a morale test. At the start of next turn is another initiative phase, and the lowest model picks who goes first instead of being forced to go first.
Mm-hmm.
In the old rules, the person with initiative just had to go first for some reason in those playtest rules. So I really like the core rules that they put together here.
Yep.
Especially the little tables. So the success rules table and then the injuries rule table.
Nice and easy to print out.
Oh, the injury roll table is so much cleaner now.
Yeah.
It looks really good and has everything you could possibly need pretty much whenever you're doing injury rolls. So
where's the infection markers? I don't see those on there. Oh man.
Yeah, they're in their own little section in the Black Grail warband rules.
Right.
I think nothing has changed with them except that you can't heal them off unless it specifically says you can heal them off.
Oh yeah, yep, makes sense.
So if you have a model that heals blood markers, it can't get rid of both. It's just blood markers. But so after these core rules, they go in. They have a comprehensive rule section, and it expands on the core rules and adds greater depth and adds even additional rules and provides examples, which are really good. The examples are awesome. The little detailed little pictures and showing exactly how things would look and how the rules would play out. So yeah. I like that they added that. They've switched equipment to battle kits. So a great sword is a battle kit. A incendiary grenade is a battle kit. So instead of calling equipment inside of equipment being equipment, it's just battle kit. So hopefully it's a lot less confusion that way.
Put your equipment inside your equipment so you can equipment while you equipment.
I love when I equipment. They talk about model accuracy. So if you're using proxy,
yep,
size and WYSIWYG and all that good stuff. I love their little mantra here.
Mm-hmm.
Be strict with yourself, but lenient with others.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I think that's just like a good rule in general. Not even just with like, oh, if your opponent brings a potato to the field and such.
Sure, man. Yeah. but I'm not gonna.
Even just with like rules, like memorizing rules and your opponent forgetting to do a rule and oh man, like I forgot to let this guy go last turn.
I'm notorious for forgetting rules.
Yeah,
notorious.
So I think it's a good little mantra just for all aspects of play.
Yeah.
But so when they talk about terrain here, to get a little bit deeper into that.
Deeper into the trenches, as it were.
That's right.
You said it. Roll credits, ladies and gentlemen.
Dangerous terrain. Starting or moving into this terrain requires a risky success roll. Before, I think it was you just moved. If you just moved into it, then it required a risky success roll. But now you could be like stuck there forever.
Oh yeah.
Which is awful.
But I mean, it didn't take much for my one guard dude to just stay in place without difficult terrain.
Line of sight. They've clarified. They have like a little diagram here, but the little single bayonet sticking out from behind total cover does not grant line of sight to that model.
Good. I like that.
So it's still a little bit of interpretation, but like it kind of seems clear.
I mean, if you can see the body, you're good. That's the way I look at it. Like if my gun is
like if I can see your full head, okay,
that's a lethal. Yeah, that's a lethal thing for sure. I mean, if their finger is sticking out holding their gun, you're not going to kill them even if you shoot that. They're just going to keep fighting.
Jumping a gap up to a higher ledge, they add the extra height to the horizontal distance for the jump for the purposes of like calculating if you can make it and such. Before, if you were jumping up higher, and the height distance was over 1 inch, you just couldn't do it.
No,
it was impossible. So even though you have like, a bloat drone or whatever you call it,
crazy demon things that have ridiculous strength to them,
that's just standing on the ledge and has 9 inches of movement. It was like, oh, I can't jump up 1 inch. Okay.
Terrible vertical on these guys. All right.
Yeah. They will not be playing basketball. Jumping down, part of the move. So it's not like an extra little thing that you do outside of the move. But you move horizontal from the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have 4 inches of movement that gets you to the ledge. You'll take an extra inch of movement to get over the ledge, and then you drop straight down.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, I used all 6 inches of movement to get right to the ledge. Oh, I get this free
jump
6-inch movement. No, you got to get over. The over is part of that movement, and you drop straight down, and
that makes sense.
That's the free part.
The straight down
is the straight down part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying looks like it can trigger mines now. Didn't.
Sure, I like that.
They didn't. It doesn't say in the rule with flying that because before it clearly said like flying doesn't trigger mines, but
yeah,
it's withheld in the new rules. And then they added do not make injury rolls if the model falls.
Oh, so they don't take fall damage? Is that what it means? Oh. But they can still pop mines from... All right. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, they're like little pop mines. That's exactly it. They like shoot up into the flying.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, that was juicy. What did you pop?
That was my knee.
God damn. Holy moly. They have keywords. They have a little bit of differences and some added ones. So they added automatic. So when you'd have like your machine gun or your machine pistol, all the rules were in the description of that gun or the extra rules, but now they just put automatic in the little brackets, and it'll be automatic X, and X is just the number of extra attacks that you can make. You can attack different enemy models within 6 inches of each other.
I mean, that makes sense.
You can spray it all into one, or
Yeah,
shoot them all over the place.
that makes sense.
Blast. They added line of sight to the intended target / point on the ground, so no more throwing your grenade over the wall blindly. So kind of makes sense.
Does it? I mean, it was kind of the point of grenades, wasn't it?
Yeah, but how would you know what you're doing?
Hope and prayers. I mean, if you could see a wall,
demons can pray.
Yeah, if you can see a wall, you'd throw it over if you know somebody's over there.
Okay, well, take it up with your game partner. Maybe they'll let you do it.
Yeah. Hey, no.
A success roll failure means the attack misses and the blast doesn't go off unless you have the scatter keyword, which is new. We'll talk about that later. And then shooting into melee does not apply to the blast. So, which means if you shoot into melee, there's like a 50% chance you hit your own ally or your own model. It'll hit everything.
Blast is going to hit them all.
Yeah. And critical success can apply if you target a specific model for the grenade.
Okay, yeah.
So not a point on the ground, but yeah. So if you can crit them. Blessed, this is what I was talking about. When you deploy a model, you add X blessing markers to it.
Okay, yep.
So what I'm hoping is that my War Prophet now is just blessing 6. It won't be. It might not even get any. The one thing that I've seen with blessing now, or blessed, is there's one of the items that you can get, or battle kits that you can buy now. It just makes it blessed 1.
Oh, okay, yep.
So it functions exactly like before,
right?
But this just gives a little bit more maneuverability with other models and other rules by adding this. They added block as a keyword. You add -1 dice for melee attacks targeting a model with this keyword. Weapon with this keyword gains the benefit only if the opposing model charges. So with the polearm, like the trench polearm,
yep.
When a model charged you, they got -1 dice for melee attacks.
Right.
So now you'll see on the polearm it'll just say block.
Right.
So it does the same, but now it has a keyword for it.
Yep.
But this gives them a chance to put block on a model. And now that's a beefy upgrade. Just add -1 dice for melee attacks targeting a model. It's pretty good. Consumable, lost the can only use once wording.
Yep.
So you'll lose it at the end of the battle.
Yeah, the item's consumed.
Yeah, but you'll have a grenade. It'll be consumable, but you can use it multiple times during the one round or one turn.
Right.
Or sorry, one match.
Yep.
But at the end of the match, that goes away. You have to buy it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They have special rules saying you can only use this item once per game. With a satchel charge, they added that to the satchel charge. It's consumable, but it also has a caveat: only once per game.
Right. So it's like the in 40K, the Gene Stealer Cult's blast pack. Basically the same sort of concept. Except now you don't have to pay for anything. If you say so. They don't have to pay for anything in 40K.
Oh, fancy. What a fancy little game.
What a fancy thing.
You don't have to pay anything. Everything runs just on happiness and sunshine. Like I said, covers now a keyword. Demonic now negates fire keyword. So that's good. Fire clarified that no effect injury roll still causes the extra blood marker for fire.
Okay. Yep.
Wait, what? Does that make any sense? What I said?
No effect injury roll still causes the extra blood marker.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So let me just say that again.
Yeah.
So the fire keyword, they just clarified that the no effect result on the injury roll will still cause an extra blood marker for fire.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear before. Flamethrower is now a keyword. Ranged attack automatically succeeds, cannot be a critical. Gas, same thing as fire, just clearing it up with no effect.
Yep.
Held is now a keyword. It requires one hand to carry and cannot be put down. Model with rule can carry either a one-handed weapon or shield, but not both, and even with shield combo. No two-handed weapons may still carry grenades.
What do you mean there's no two-handed weapons anymore?
If you have a held weapon, you can't use a two-handed weapon with it.
Gotcha.
For
some
reason,
that was a misunderstanding on my part. I thought when you said no two-handed weapons, I thought there was no two-handed weapons. I was like, wait, what?
Right, as if I was going through the rules. No, this is just specifically for held.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to errata that, because if you're strong, can use a two-handed weapon as one-handed. Right. Does that circumvent this rule? But as for right now, if you have a held weapon, you can't carry a two-handed weapon in the other hand, even if you're strong. At least that's how I read it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yep.
So now they have ignore armor keyword. So when you ignore armor, you ignore minus injury dice and minus injury modifiers for the target's armor characteristic or armor shield battle kit that it has.
All right.
So it's a little confusing. At least it was for me, and I had to kind of read it,
think it over
again and again. Because I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
So when you have armor in the previous rule set, you have minus injury modifiers. Yeah. So I had standard armor plus
shield is a -1. Yeah.
So it becomes a -2, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I have a -2 injury modifier, and ignore armor ignores minus injury modifiers for the target's armor characteristic. Okay,
or
so
for
I get
armor
rid of
shield.
That.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and that's if the model has just an innate -2 or -3 injury modifier in the target's armor characteristic itself.
Yeah.
Like even if it doesn't, if it's just like, oh, this thing has God armor and has a -3 innately, or Hellforge armor -2 innately, this still ignores that armor.
That's pretty sweet.
But what they've added too is that certain target's armor characteristics or the armor shield that the battle kit has will also apply like a minus injury dice to incoming attacks. Right. This will also ignore that. So what's what I would like a little bit of clarification on is the Black Grail models, because they have the disgustingly resilient or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Where every injury roll against them has a minus injury dice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it here.
Now, is that part of the target's armor characteristic? Or is that just part of the model's special rules, and ignore armor doesn't get to ignore that?
I don't know if they get that anymore. I'm just kind of looking that up.
Oh, really?
Special rules. They've got infection markers and then their morale thing now.
Just look at one of the models. It'll have it in there.
Where was I just out there? What
Black
are tumors? Grail. Elite, fear, leader, negate gas, strong, tough.
Oh, did they get rid of that rule for them?
Oh, undead fortitude. Add -1 injury dice on injury rolls for a Lord of Tumors. unless the attack has the fire keyword.
Yeah, so that's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an ability.
Yeah.
The Undead Fortitude, right?
Yeah.
Now the ignore armor specifically says you ignore minus injury dice, which this would be
For their armor characteristic.
for armor characteristics,
Which that is not.
which I would say is not
Yeah.
either. This is an ability, not an armor
Yeah.
characteristic.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they want ignore armor to go through that as well. I'm not sure.
I don't think that's the intent.
I don't think so either. I think it just as it reads, I think it's what it is. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
All
it.
right. I'm glad we're in agreement here. Moving on.
Ignore modifier, like ignore in parentheses modifier is now a keyword. So if you have ignore cover, you would ignore that modifier of a model being covered doing dice to your ranged attack.
Makes sense.
Or your melee attack, because now cover is that keyword, and that defensible terrain is part of cover as well. They've added impervious. Ignore armor does not apply to battle kit with this keyword. Ignore armor does not affect any other battle kit target. Does affect any other battle kit a target model has normally. So if you have a special piece of armor that is impervious, people can't use the
Ignore armor weapons.
ignore armor on it.
Yeah.
But if you have a shield, that gives you an extra -1.
That's still gonna get it.
They can still ignore the armor on that. Yeah. Infection markers are now a keyword. There is a big read up on the Black Grail. It's all there now. You need abilities that specifically remove infection markers to remove them, not just
blood markers. Yeah,
the blood markers. Now they have negate. They have a keyword that's negate keyword. So if you have negate shrapnel keyword, you ignore the shrapnel effects. Pretty simple. They're just kind of shoring things up here. Pistol is now a keyword. Can be used as a melee weapon or a ranged weapon, and can be used as both in the same activation. Has to be used as an offhand weapon.
So you have to take the minus to the roll on it.
-1, yeah. To your success roll.
Yeah.
Reload is a keyword. When a model uses a weapon with this keyword, their activation ends.
Okay.
Which is, so I'll read you what they have written here. Because I was like, I read it a couple times, and I'm like, what are they talking about? But all right, we get to reload. If a model makes an attack with a weapon that has this keyword, then its activation ends after the action that allowed the attack is completed.
It's a little wordy, but
it works. But like, couldn't you just say, when a model uses this weapon with this keyword, their activation ends?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But there's probably somewhere that they had to specify that for that reason.
It could be.
Or they're just like being wordy.
Don't turn into GW now.
Yeah.
Now we get to scatter. So if you have a blast weapon with scatter, now you do that. You saw it with the artillery witch's weapon and some others, where if you miss with your attack roll, you minus it from 7, and that's the how much it scatters.
Yep.
So the example is success roll was a 4, that the attack misses.
Yep.
So it's 7 minus 4 equals 3 inches. The opponent picks the direction, So 3 inches from your intended spot in the opponent's specified direction. That's where it now scatters. That's where the blast radius is from. The weapon goes off as normal from that spot. But they made scatter a keyword. Shotgun. -1 injury dice for long range instead of -1 dice instead of -1 dice at long range for the success roll.
Right.
It's like a little bit of a nerf because, or I don't know if it's even a nerf. They just kind of redid the rules a bit, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically less likely to do great harm.
Yeah, it works essentially the same. I think before, I'm trying to remember, it's just, so if you're shooting at long range before, you would have, because you're shooting at long range, the weapon had +1 dice innately, but you're shooting at long range, so then it cancels that out.
Yeah.
Right now, I think because the weapon will have +1 innately now, and now it has this clarification that you switch the long range modifier. You'll get to keep that +1 even at long range to hit.
Right.
But you have a -1 injury dice at long range.
Which, yeah, I mean, think about like the pellets spreading out. You're still going to hit, but now you're just going to do less damage per se. Not as likely to cause giant injuries.
Yes. Shrapnel, it's reworked like fire and gas.
Mm-hmm.
Just clarifying that you still take the blood marker if you roll 0 on injury, or one or lower.
Yep.
Skirmisher. If model with keyword is the target of the charge, you can evade D3 and move the model that many inches. Cannot be within 1 inch of an enemy when evading, and cannot finish an evade within 1 inch of enemy models. It's a little bit of a change from previous, but just a little bit cleaner.
Yep.
Because they before, in the previous rules, like even if someone was charging near you, you could still do this evade to get in the way or something like that. They're like, it was a little bit complicated. So they just said, if you're the target of the charge, then you can do this evade.
Yeah.
All right. They go into a little bit more detail in the terrain. They have now like these beautiful board setups. One is a full trench Crusade battlefield, kind of like a depiction of what that is. And then they have your in mine battlefield, an improvised battlefield, which is cardboard and tape measures for.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So it kind of gives like a little nice description of like what you can do and how it should look, but it's kind of up to you and your opponent.
Yep.
You know what you
go over it with,
to settle with.
Yep.
But they added some extra kind of like terrain, different types. Yep. So now they've added landmarks, which are, because before it was just like dangerous, difficult, impassable, and open. Right. Now they've added a few more. So landmarks, impassable terrain except by models that can fly, and then they can be used for a marker for objective. Hills, they can be any height, but recommended that they're no wider than 12 inches. Difficult, dangerous, and other types of terrain can be included on the hills. There's trench sections. Up to 3 inches high can be climbed like open terrain. Over 3 inches must be climbed like sheer surfaces. So Open terrain is classified as like if you have ladders or stairs
Right.
up buildings, but if you're climbing just a wall, they call it a sheer surface now, and you have to take a risky success roll.
That makes sense.
Ruined building, recommended no wider than 12 inches. It can be as high as you want it seems. Rubble from the building is treated as difficult, while stairs and floors are open.
Get those corrupted churches built.
Yeah. I really want to build a church, like a small like prairie church, where part of the wall is crumbled and the ruin and the rubble is kind of coming down out of it and down the hill, but you can climb the rubble up to like the second floor. I don't know. I kind of have this picture in my mind. In the book here, they actually have a like a picture of the terrain piece, what they call this
the ruined building.
And it looks really cool. Yeah, it's on page
62.
62. Yeah, I love the way that looks. Oh man, I want to build exactly that, but have like a steeple on the front.
Yep.
Church.
See, now I want to do one that's like fully corrupted and like covered in infection.
We should do it. We'll do like a holy board and then a demonic board.
Yeah.
You can have rivers and streams. They have a lot of like must in this section, like must enter from an edge and leave by a different edge or end in a swamp or a lake. But what if you have like a church that's bleeding?
Yeah, what if
like the it comes from the front door and the river carries on into like a mouth in the ground? That's not a board edge.
Well, I think that's where you just communicate with your who you're playing with.
I just like I don't hate it, but it's just like annoying. It's like, oh, it must. I hate like the absolutes.
Yeah.
In a game that's, not black and white, but that's all right. Rivers and streams both should include one or more crossing points. That makes sense. You don't want to, my super ranged army is just going to sit in the corner past these two rivers that you have to cross, and you die as you go past them.
Oh man,
I get like in them in fairness. Yeah, I see what they're doing, but you can only use a river or stream in scenarios with them, or if both players agree to include them. Sure. Then there's interact buildings. So let's say if you have like a barracks that's just a straight up building that's not ruined, it's just a building.
Yep.
They suggest that you should make it impassable terrain, but if you want models to enter, create a floor plan for models to move around on. And then common sense should restrict models too big from entering the building. But that, I think, and now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to build my church.
And then be able to take the top off of it.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yep.
Or like you have like a separate on the side little diorama of inside the church that you play on, that if you're inside the church.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
Just screaming for Upham to bring the ammo.
Mama. Oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah.
Great movie.
So good.
What they got to do is they got to remake Saving Private Ryan, but in Trench Crusade.
Oh my god, that'd be horrifying.
Be cool.
It would just be straight up a horror movie.
I mean, it is basically a horror movie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
they talk about battlefield archetypes in the next section. They said that there's 3 that they define, but you can have this, as much as your imagination
Yeah.
can think of. But theirs they describe are no man's land, decimated ruins, and trench lines. And then if you just need help kind of like making a board, they have recommended pieces and how far away they should be, and
Yep.
how many of each piece you should use. Yeah, so it's kind of just some guidelines that you can use to building your board before you battle it out. Battle kits now they get to, which is kind of like the generic pieces of gear that you can equip with virtually almost any army. It's like generic across them all. Some warbands might have like certain things that you're not able to take, but
yeah.
For the most part, this is all the generic stuff. Battle kit limits: 1 2-handed range weapon or 2 one-handed range weapons. Then you can carry 1 2-handed melee weapon or 2 one-handed melee weapons, 1 type of grenade, 1 suit of armor, 1 shield, and any number of equipment, but no duplicates.
I mean, that makes sense.
So I think it makes it seem like now, like if you had a strong character and you're having a 2-handed weapon in one hand, you can't have an offhand weapon with that as well. Because if you have 1 2-handed melee weapon, you're not allowed to have now an extra 1-handed melee weapon.
Right. But what does the strong keyword do now?
It's the same, that you can use a 2-handed weapon as you ignore the effects of heavy.
Yeah.
And then you can use a 2-handed weapon in one hand, which essentially gives you an extra hand to use a shield or other equipment or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Like that's still really good. But I was kind of hoping to dual wield great axes or some crap like that. But
I guess not.
That's right. But I think if you have if you have a model that's strong, but has equipment that's like proprietary to it, then it just allows it to use those weapons. Like if it had a 2-handed melee weapon and a 1-handed melee weapon in its specific weapon or model profile,
right?
Then the strength lets you use it.
Do you think so?
Maybe. Yeah, I think like what is the Praetor? I think he's got like a 2-handed sword and then a 1-handed sword in his kit. Either that or the amalgam.
Well, I mean, he's got the 6-armed monstrosity, so he's got his own special rule to negate that.
Right, but the amalgam, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offhand weapon modifier doesn't apply to any of its melee attacks.
But and then the Praetor. Praetor can have any battle kit from the court armory tables. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't have its own proprietary stuff. But what about what's that one guy called that they have? Desecrated Saint. That's what it is. The Desecrated Saint has several arms and the strong keyword. It can have up to 3 one-handed melee weapons from the court, or 2 one-handed melee weapons and 1 2-handed melee weapon. So this one has its own like special rules to get around it.
Yeah. So that's how they would have to do it, is they would have their own special.
Yeah. So I think if you want a one-handed two-hander, you can't have another weapon, it seems. At least that's how I read it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So, shields, they changed a tiny bit. If a model has a shield, it may carry a max of one-handed melee and ranged weapon each. You can't have like...
No two-handed, yeah.
So you have a shield and one-handed sword, and then you're carrying a Gatling gun on your back.
Right.
It doesn't work. Cannot carry a two-handed weapon unless the weapon and the shield both have the shield combo rule. So that... I don't know if Great Sword comes with shield combo, but... So they're getting... I think they're taking away some of that. It just seems kind of weird, though, because, like... so my communicant before... I was like, okay, well, I can't have a two-handed weapon and a one-handed weapon. So
Right.
I'll have a two-handed sword and then a shield.
Yep.
But now it's like, you can't do that. So I'm like trying to think of what does strong give you?
We don't take
on
the...
a regular model.
Yeah.
You negate heavy for sure.
Yep.
But then why even add the, like, you can use a two-handed weapon
As a one-handed option.
as a one-handed option? There's probably some rules interactions here that I just haven't seen yet, but I digress. For ranged weapons...
Well...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it just straight up says that cannot carry 200 weight. Yeah. I was like, oh, if it has a shield, it can carry a one-handed melee weapon. But then it specifically states that it can't carry a two-handed weapon.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what the benefit of carrying like a two-handed weapon in one hand is.
Yeah.
If you can't, unless there's some two-handed weapon out there with a shield
Combo, yeah.
Shield combo that I just haven't seen yet. What I don't like is that, again, I thought they were going to do this when they shore up the rules, but like a bayonet lug and shield combo rules, they're in the you'll have like an equipment list with ducats.
Yep.
And they'll be in there.
Yeah.
But in the battle kit, it doesn't
They're not on there. Yeah.
Shield combo or bayonet lug, which is, I wish they would have added it there.
Oh, for sure.
But whatever.
Yep.
So with there's a few change. Most of the range weapons are all the same. There's a few little changes. The automatic pistol lost the -1 dice to injury, so that's a buff. Pretty nice buff at that. They added a blunderbuss. If you want to read the little piece to that.
It's a firearm of a bygone era, loaded with rusty nails, lead shot, grenade shrapnel, and shell pieces. Just delicious. The classic pirates thing.
So it's a two-handed 10-inch range shrapnel weapon.
Beautiful.
Simple. I like it. I think I might use this.
Junk cannon from Fallout.
Yep. Heavy flamethrower. They added -1 injury dice to the profile. Before it was nothing, so a little bit of a debuff there, or a bane. Submachine gun does not get automatic 2, but specifies that you can use the submachine gun twice, or actions can be taken in between shots. So you can shoot at someone, move, dash, shoot at someone again.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
I actually think I like that better than just straight up the automatic.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
A little bit more mobility and freedom, yeah.
Yeah, because if you down someone on your first shot,
yeah,
well, I'll go over here and shoot someone else in the face. Yeah. There's only everything that I looked through with the melee weapons. The The only thing that was different was the bayonet, in that it had no mention of it having to be attached to a weapon with a bayonet lug.
Right.
Although, bayonet lugs, there's still that keyword on certain weapons in your equipment list. Grenades get their own category now. They kind of change them up. They virtually work the exact same way, but now they just have a bunch of keywords now instead of a big long rule list.
Each one's its own thing, basically.
Yeah. So I'll just go over them quick. But frag grenade, assault, blast 2, ignore cover, ignore long range shrapnel. Gas grenade, -1 injury dice, assault, blast 3, gas, ignore armor, ignore cover, ignore long range. Incendiary grenade, assault, fire, ignore cover, ignore long range. Crit equals ignore armor. Like if you crit on the success roll to hit.
Right.
Molotov cocktail, -1 injury dice, assault, fire, ignore cover, ignore long range, and the crit equals ignore armor again.
So basically, just like the incendiary, except it's homemade, so -1 to your injury.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it must be super cheap. I don't know what the exact ducat cost is because they don't include them in.
Yeah.
It's in the own specific warband equipment list of what they can take, and that's where it's how much it'll cost. So it must be a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like, why would you ever take that? Just take incendiary grenade.
Yeah.
Satchel charge now has scatter and ignore cover. Can only use once per game.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
So they now are into shields and armor. Replaces the minus to injury rolls with the keyword minus certain number injury modifier.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Just changing it. So now it's always this certain keyword.
Mm-hmm.
Equipment. Binoculars added that enemy models with infiltrator can deploy within 16 inches if it's their own side deployment zone. So it didn't specify before, but like you could put someone with binoculars on right in the front and the model couldn't even deploy in its own deployment zone. Like it'd have to be further back than 16 inches. Because you couldn't, before it was just, you can't deploy within 16 inches of someone with binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could really like shoehorn someone's infiltrator models.
Oh yeah.
Just push them right off the map. Gas mask loses the gas attack suffer -1 injury dice. So it'll negate the gas keyword, but it also had the attack would suffer a -1 injury dice when you got hit with a gas weapon. Now it loses that, so it's a bit of a nerf. Infernal Brand is the same thing but with fire, so nerf that as well.
Yep.
Then in this little document they have the campaign rules, which we might talk about later, or we might just talk about kind of the cool stuff we see when we do our campaign, which is probably what we'll do, because we did the campaign rules before, and I'm sure not a lot has changed. And then they have their scenarios, which is they look really good now. They have updated maps. I love the way that they look.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot more clean, a lot more detail. I'm still looking at that train scenario. Armored train scenario.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Hell train, baby.
Choo choo.
But I think that's about it. I think that wraps us up.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the new rules there, sir?
So far, I mean, I'm liking what I see. Everything that I've seen makes sense, and I'm just looking forward to giving these guys a shot now.
Yeah.
With maybe some new models soon, yeah.
Yeah. My Great Hunger models.
Yo, my jealousy bone.
If I had a resin printer, I would definitely have. I think they said they're going to release the STLs at the end of the month.
Oh yeah, yep.
So it would be possible that I would have got the Great Hunger models before my Kickstarter, before we got our Kickstarter models.
Ah.
But I won't have that resin printer for a while, so
Yeah.
but that's all right. Well, I guess with that, until next time, keep marching and don't shoot till you see the red in their eyes.